Welcome to the Wexford Football League show, and this week's featured game in O'Neill's Premier is Moyne Rangers versus Ferns, and we'll get that later in the show. How are you, Nicky? How are things going for you this week? How do you find your first week not managing in the Wexford Football League?
Absolutely brilliant.
No stress.
No worrying about trying to get 20 lads or out on a pitch of a Sunday.
Just looking forward to coming in here and criticising as many people as you can.
Well, you could say whatever you want, but I'm trying to promote the league. What are you trying to do? So, no, look at it is. Look, it's enjoyable getting out and getting around and looking at the games. Like I wouldn't have got to see Moyne and Ferns last year, so you'd have been wrapped up in your own club game. So it's well, the weather was good, so it made it a little bit easier getting out last weekend. What about yourself?
That was great. Not having the stress Saturday night, thinking who you're going to drop or who you're going to leave out or who you're sending back to the B team. It was great, actually, just getting up Sunday morning at 10 o'clock and rocking out to the game, nothing to do, just watch it.
Well, the Moyne lads always said you always plicked your friends and dropped the others.
Successful enough doing that anyway then, wasn't it?
Well, yes, I suppose whatever worked for yourself.
It was notable this weekend. There was a lot of players missing from a lot of the teams, from GA commitment and Electric Picnic Festival being on. Do you think the culture of extra soccer has changed with players giving 100% commitment to the soccer teams, or do you think at this time of the year it's just a bit like that, or what would you make of it yourself?
I think the commitment levels, I definitely think that has changed. Probably since before COVID, players have come back a little bit more since COVID, and they've realised that there's other stuff going on other than getting up of a Sunday morning. To be honest with you, I don't blame young lads going to Electric Picnic and these things when you hear what goes on up in these places. So if you're a young lad, free and single, off you'd go. But
would you say that when you were managing Shamrocks?
Obviously not, but I'm not managing anymore. So, but look, the commitment level, we were probably brought it in with John Godkin, yourself. There was a load of managers. I won't name them, but like we probably all got the lads in, got them focused about not drinking. Definitely weren't drinking Saturday nights and things like that. So there was a massive level of commitment there for a number of years, and I think it has slightly changed a little bit. I noticed it last year myself when I was back involved, because I missed probably 2 seasons after COVID as well where I wasn't involved. So the culture has definitely changed. It's just a lot easier for players to go and pick other stuff, whether that be Electric Picnic or just a random night out and things like that. The GA has always been a problem. It's always a clash, especially this time of the year. The way around it, I don't know. We both suggested moving the season last year. You came up with a great brainwave.
Proposal that fell on the floor.
It was shut down. But look, commitment, once you get them in and get them going, I'm sure everybody buys into it. But it has drastically changed over a number of years, and it's something that does come back from some managers. But like, hopefully this promotion and what we're trying to do now will get young lads and keep young lads buying into the league when they see the effort that the Wexford League are doing, the lads are doing here with the podcast and all that kind of stuff. But I do definitely think this is the start of something new, and I do think that over the next 4 or 5 years, with more Astros coming involved, there will be more Friday night, Saturday night games, and I do think that's the way forward.
Yeah, that's something in fairness you've been championing for the last couple of years, the Friday night, the Saturday games, maybe getting 2 clubs to agree to playing on a Saturday afternoon. I suppose problem you always have with that, if you rang me or Goggy rang me or Dodger rang me,
that was just you.
Change the game, you think someone is pulling a trick somewhere. I suppose for me, from managing for the last 20 years, that culture has changed. Players are more committed to it. It's just that month of September as a manager is an absolute nightmare. You have Electric Picnic, you have the end of the GA Championship. It's just to be hell just trying to get a team out, and you can't win a league in September, but you can lose it.
Yeah, no, you can definitely lose it, that's for sure.
Yeah, so
but no, as I said, the way forward I think is definitely Friday nights, Saturday nights, Thursday nights, whatever you can fit in. But that's a long way off. We're a long way off of Dublin, but this show, bringing in sponsors, bringing in stuff, promoting the league, hopefully that'll lead the way to to more stuff being developed for lads to be playing, because it's a massive help. Like, you get out onto a soccer pitch, you're an hour and a half out there, and you've no other thought other than soccer for that whole hour. So you leave your whole life behind you. You're just out there playing football. So it is a great asset to have within the county, and having so many players playing.
Being a publican yourself, I'm sure you let them all know the pubs are open on a Sunday afternoon after the game.
Yeah, no, definitely. And in fairness, we had a great turnout. It helped this Sunday with Man United playing Arsenal. The pubs were flying, thanks be to God. So there was a good stir up, and we had a bit of music, and everybody had a few pizzas and bits and pieces after it. So no, look, it does help our Sunday. The lads coming in for a couple of pints. It was years ago. It was a massive thing. Not so much now. You wouldn't get the full squads coming in and things like that, but you'd have 5 or 6 hardcore lads who like their few pints. Like the bod never miss a Sunday for a pint after a game.
And it becomes a whole day session and a Sunday night session.
Yeah, that's it. And it was for years. And to be honest with you, when we done it for years with Rovers, James Carty was absolutely brilliant at it. He'd make sure that everybody would meet in tosses on Sunday, and if you didn't meet, there'd be, you'd have to answer a serious question. But no, it was a great team bonding thing, and we used it to bond together, and we had some great sessions.
Yeah, I suppose there's no manager out there have any of the teams on drinking bans or anything. It's, I didn't mind.
That's only in the GAA, I think.
I didn't mind lads going out on a Friday night. You just don't want them going out on the Saturday before the games. All you were really asking them, really, wasn't it? You weren't asking them to stay off it for the whole 9 months of the season. Right? It was just Saturday night, just a bit
no,
of
you didn't.
Cop on.
I didn't ask him to stay off of it on the Friday night, where I used to put training on late Friday night, so they couldn't go anywhere. So that's kind of what we done. We made them train Friday evening, and then you'd hope it. But to be honest with you, more or less the lads policed it themselves. Like, they were honest enough to tell you if they had a wedding or if they had something that they were going. So 9 times out of 10 they policed it themselves. Obviously there was a few rogues in between here and there, but they always got caught.
I think it's changed right down the divisions now. I think maybe 10 to 15 years ago it was maybe just a Premier Division 1, but I think now I see with our B team lads in Division 3, it's the same standards expected of them as the A team lads, not to go out drinking on the Saturday night now. So I think it's going right down, which I think is good for the league. It's going to up the standards in it.
Oh, definitely, yeah, and it is, but it's every young lad, every player coming through, they're conscious of social media and stuff like that, and now they know that the games could be videoed and things like that. They're going to want to be at their best. So yeah, look, it's the way forward.
To want to be at their best and look their best, I suppose. As we move on now, we're going to look back at the weekend's games in O'Neill's Premier. The first one at Bunclody 4-0 against Ajax. And Garen Dunn got 1, Shane Franklin got 2, and Matthew Skelly. It's great to see Shane back play. I know he was back playing last year. He had a bad leg break there a year and a half ago, so it's great to see him back flying. He'd be one of Bunclody's better players, in fairness. Yeah,
Shane's been around a number of years, even though he's still a relatively young man. But look, sure, it's a great start for Bunclody. Nick Finn, I'm sure, is absolutely delighted. 4-0 win. And yeah, look, there's 3 points on the board, and they look to move forward. Ajax, on the other hand, struggled obviously with the scoreline, so they have a couple of weeks. The transfer deadline is the 23rd of September, so I'm sure they're going to be trying to get around and see can they get 1 or 2 more bodies in before then.
Their squad will be light. It looks like from the off they're going to struggle in the league, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Next game was your own club. Had a great win down in was it the Cave you called it last week, Campaya?
Yeah, well, no, I didn't. I said there were cavemen down there, and a couple of lads said that the tackles were flying down there. No, I'm only messing. But no, look, Campile is a tough place to go down. They're quite a young squad from what I'm after hearing. The game was 0-0 at half time, and Rafi
got 2, and Dara Harris.
And Dara Harris, two young men. Dara Harris is definitely one for the future. I think Dara's is only just 17. He played a few times with us last year, and whenever he played with us, he was excellent. And look, at Rovers would be absolutely delighted. 3 points on the board. Tough trip away to Campile out of the way, and yeah, look, I'm sure delighted. Anthony Rowe was just saying that it was a tough game, and it was 0-0. Like, it could have went anywhere, and Campile missed a penalty, at 2-1 they could have gotten back into the game. So who knows what way, or 2-0, sorry, who knows what way it could have went.
Yeah, it's a young Rovers team as well, in fairness. Young Rafi, Dapo, Dara, other Keane O'Connor as well.
Yeah, Alan O'Connor out back. So
under new management, Ken, I suppose we better mention that Ken has also been announced as the Oscar Trainers manager for the year.
Yeah, Ken is in. Best of luck to him. Look, it's a tough job, especially when he's managing another club team within it, to try and get other players to come into him, because every manager will probably have their guard up, thinking, why is Ken wanting my players in? They might not think what's best for the county. But I was lucky enough to do it. It was probably the greatest honour that I could have done, is managing your county. And it's a great honour, and wish him the best of luck. And hopefully every player, whether it's from Gorey right down to Fastnet or Feathered down to South of the County, make themselves available to play on it. I think Leinster now this year, for the first year, is going to be called the Pat Whitty Memorial Cup.
You have to win Leinster to come out, don't you?
Yeah, you have to win Leinster. So look, I think that's something Wexford should definitely be trying to go and look, because Pat Whitty done fantastic work for this league before he passed away a few years ago. So it's something that we should definitely try and get our hands on.
You'll be hoping that's the reason that all the players will play it, kind of honour Pat and go out try to win the trophy when it's first year being named after him. Oh,
definitely, and honour the county. You know, it's your county. You don't get too many options to win stuff with your county, and the GA lads are trying it every year, and they don't come away with the honours too often. So if we can go and get that, it'd be great for our own county.
Yeah, it'll be a tough job for Ken though, trying to get all the players to bond into one team, was it? You know, a bit of rivalry there now between the Gorey and North End lads, and you're going to need them two sets of players if you really want to challenge them for the trophy.
Yeah, you'll definitely want some of them anyway. But look, there was rivalry there between North End and Rovers, the Moyne Rovers, the Moyne North End. So rivalry has been there for years. They just may put that aside and just get down and try and
things
play.
will be on Wednesday nights as well, so it's not going to clash with any of the clubs' games or anything. So move on. The other game then was North End's first game without Goggy, and had a great 3-0 win. I think Crossabeg will be disappointed that they didn't really lay a glove on North End. It was I'm not going to call it a weak North End team, but an under-strength North End team. I think they had a backline of, I think only Robin Dempsey was only a recognised defender in the backline, really.
Yeah, I'm sure Joe is disappointed. I wasn't speaking to him. They were beaten 3-0, but look, at the one thing I've always said about North End is they've goals everywhere, and they punish teams that other teams don't sometimes do. Like to be missing Spot, Gary, Craig, McCabe, Dale Flynn, Eamon Joseph, all it, just sackload of players they didn't have.
Yeah, Kieran Carty, Owen Rhodes, and I think I have special mention for Kyle Dempsey. Another season of Extra League, scoring again. I think he's been in it as the league as long as I'm in it. He seems to be playing in it, so I think he deserves a lot of credit.
Yeah, no, look, Kyle,
serial winner, serial leader for that team. So
Kyle has done well, yeah. So and look, he's, as I said, he's talking out again this year. He'll be a big bonus to Denny. I'm sure he's a leader in the dressing room, obviously, and outside. And like, Kyle doesn't drink or smoke, so he leads a real clean living for a lot of them young lads coming through North End down there.
Great example.
And yeah, definitely, yeah. So look, from what I heard, they won it easy. They were probably on North End running in third gear, and the cruise through it. So while I'd say Denny is absolutely thrilled at the cruise through that, they'll have tougher tests over the next couple of weeks. Yeah.
Another next game was Moyne 3-1 winners against Ferns. We'll touch on that later when we show on the highlights. And then I suppose the surprise of the weekend was Fort Celtic getting a point against Gorey. I think Ryan Busher scored from a free, and then I think Ryan Cullen equalised shortly after. This one surprised me because I think if you look at all the teams that went out in probably the whole of the league, let alone the Premier, I'd say Gorey were probably the only team nearly at full strength of a squad. Bar maybe I think keeper wasn't there, all right. Yeah. I think Sean Murphy had to go in the goal, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah. It looked like that anyway on the FAI Connect anyway. But look, Fort were very unlucky not to get a result down there last year. I don't think they fear Gorey at all coming down to him. And while I'm not really surprised on the result, because I was talking to a few of the Fort lads last week when we were looking for information. They said that they were looking forward to the game, and even though they were missing players, that they thought they'd give Gorey a run for the money. So it didn't surprise me when I checked the app to see that the result. So fair play to him, and Fort are not a bad side.
No, not a bad side. I was very surprised. I thought Fort might struggle this year just from talking to some, I think, especially at the start when they're missing all the Martin's boys. But I thought Gorey would have came out after a great season last year, trying to set a mark straight away. So I wonder, maybe they'll struggle being with the tag of being champions. And as you said last week about teams coming now to really beat them, the champions are there. I know it's something when we went at 19, it's something we did struggle with.
Yeah, well, that's 100%. Look, some clubs do struggle, some clubs don't. Like, you have to look at the Gorey. Maybe they're just a little bit flat. Maybe they just got caught on the hop. They just thought it might have been easy. Who knows what pre-season they've done. They've had a few players coming and going. So there's been a few changes up there. But like, if they get caught another week, then they might start to get a little bit scared. But they definitely won't want to be dropping too many points now to North End or the Moyne or whoever else is going to be challenging for that league title so early in the season. Yeah,
the fixtures then for next week are Moyne home to Fort, North End home to Bunclody. That'll be actually our featured game for next week's show. Wexford Bows home to Campoile and Ajax home to Gorey. So you want to have a little chat about them? Who do you think I think the Moyne and Fort game is an interesting one for me. I think you'll find out where both teams are at. I think it was our Fort going to be up there with the top teams, our Moyne going to be up there as well. I think Fort showed last week the drew with the champions, so I think you'll be able to tell a little bit from where both teams are with the results of the weekend. Yeah,
look, that's an extremely tough start for the Moyne, Ferns, and now going into the Fort Celtic game. Fort, what I found about them last year, there was such when I say a physical team, I don't mean it in a dirty sense, but they were strong, they were powerful, they were able to get up and down the pitch. So they were quite physical, but not dirty, like, you know. So them getting stuck into the Moyne lads this weekend. So yeah, look, it has the potential to be a really, really good game. Sean now will it'll be interesting to see, will he change around a few players, because he has quite a big squad. Dylan Brown and James Pear done really well when they came in. He has Shoddy there who didn't get a run. So look at it, there's loads of potential there that were at the game last week for him to make 2 or 3 changes. So look, it'll be interesting to see. But it could go either way. I wouldn't be surprised if that game ended in a draw.
Another manager, I suppose, will have to think about, will he bring back lads in after a good win? Is Denny down in North End when they're home to Bunclody after winning 3-0 last week? Will he bring back in a few of the players that are missing, or will he go the same again? I think a Bunclody team will be confident enough travelling down there.
Yeah, well, definitely Bunclody, I'd say, are definitely confident. Don't forget, they had a great run last year in Division 1. They got to the semi-final of the Wexford Cup, or quarter-final. It was a quarter-final. Yeah. So they had a great run last year, so there's going to be oozing confidence, especially after beating Ajax 4-1. So it'll be interesting what Denny does. Denny's his own character, but look, he has some great players that are probably going to come back in around that squad. And if you do, it's only going to make him stronger. So yeah, look, it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, and then Shamrocks against Crossabeg. Shamrocks, I think, will be happy enough with their start with the fixtures when they seen them themselves, but I think Crossabeg will feel they might be able to take something here off a young Shamrocks team. If they have all the GA players now, of course, that's the thing.
Who have the GA?
Crossabeg.
Yeah, look at Rovers starting off. When they looked at it, I'm damn sure they probably thought to themselves, it's 2 6-pointers the first 2 games. It's definitely a 6-pointer for the Campoile game. Crossabeg, we didn't finish too high above them last year. So if the Rovers lads can pick up 6 points out of that, they'll be absolutely delighted going into the Leinster Junior FAI kind of break of games. So look, it'll be interesting to see. It's another close game, another tough one. I know Rovers I think might have Hopper and Eddie Black coming back to the squad this week. So Ken, it'll reinforce his squad a little bit there to pick and choose from.
And then Nicky Hines starts off his season next week in the Premier with Bows against Camp Hoyle. You'd imagine Bows will be
actually that game is called off. Actually, yeah. So that game was only called off there the other evening. So that game is
any reason why
it's not going ahead. Camp Hoyle had put in for a free Sunday a few weeks ago.
Just falls well for Nicky, 2 games off.
Yeah, look, it's great for Nicky. Gives him 2 weeks, and it looks like now that he'll probably have a Leinster Junior and FAI before he even kicks a league ball. So, look, he's going to be he'll be thrilled, and it'll get him a couple of weeks and get the GA out of the way and things like that. So, I'm sure he's at home rubbing his hands.
And the final game looks straightforward enough. Gorey, even though they're away to Ajax, you'd expect Gorey to win this one comfortable enough. Yeah,
look, Gorey will relish going down to play on Ajax pitch. The facilities down there are great. So, you can only see that kind of going one way. And you would expect Gorey now to bounce back and pick up 3 points after last Sunday.
Yeah, we move on into the 4-star Pizzas Division 1. Bridge Rovers coming back late, 2-1 win over Shelbourne. I think they were 1-8 down in the last 5 minutes. Paddy Connors scored from a 25-yard screamer and an Adam O'Leary. Chris Conley got the Shelbourne game. Bridge are usually kind of always mid-table Division 1. They were yo-yo in there between the Premier Division 1 a few years back, but the last couple of years have just kind of headed out to being mid-table Division 1, so it'll be interesting to see will they make a challenge for the Premier this year.
Yeah, I was chatting with Donald Moyne there. His young lad was making his debut in the Bridge goal. He actually saved a penalty. So look at they're trying to build the foundations down there. They were in the Premier a couple of years ago. They went down. It kind of looked like they may have even flirted with relegation from Division 1, but they're solid mid-table team. But look, they have a great selection down there in Castlebridge. That area is building. Is getting growing bigger and bigger. Look, they're trying to build down there, so it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, next game, 2 teams that'll be hoping to try to really push for promotion. Clabon v All Blacks. Again, similar to last game, Clabon were 1-0 up, but All Blacks scored 2 late goals with Ian Moore and Shane Cassidy. Owen Furlong getting Clabons. I suppose you can't talk about All Blacks, but talk about Shane Cassidy. Every week he seems to score, in fairness to him. He's a machine when it comes to goals.
Yeah, definitely. And All Blacks seem to be very strong. They only went down with 11 players.
Yeah, see, Shane Pettit lined out from at the weekend.
Yeah, so but they still only had 11 players going Sunday. So I don't know. You hear a few rumours coming out of the club that everything is not right down there. But if they focus and they get that team together, they won't be far away from the very top of that division. But the first game of the season, I know GA, and as we spoke with Electric Picnic, they may have been an excuse, but it would concern you if they only had 11 players tagging out. Yeah, there was only 3 games in Division 1 last week. 5 teams not playing. The final game was Glenbarntown 0, Ross Celtic 0 down on the Astro on the CBS. That's where Barntown play all their whole games. I think Ross will be happy enough for that, really, coming up to an established Division 1 side in their first game back in Division 1. Yeah, there will be. I think it might be where the 2 of them are at. I think the 2 of them may be mid-table this year. Even though I was really impressed with Ross last year. I've seen him play a couple of times. They played some lovely football. But like their club, they are growing again. As I said, they're a sleeping giant. But look, as long as you're not getting beaten your first game, something to build on. So I'm sure Brian down there is quite happy with picking up a result. Yeah, and I said it was 5 teams not playing in the league last week, but they're all coming into the fixtures this week. The big guns as such of the division coming back. We've the Courtown v North End, Rosslare Rangers v Cora, Shelbourne v Glenbarntown, and Gorey v Bridge Rovers. I suppose the standout game there will be Courtown North End. Yeah, definitely. It should be a good game. I'm interested to see how Courtown line up, especially after being relegated out of the Premier last year. Courtown and North End was always a fiery game, so it could go down into with the B team. It could be a right ding dong battle. Cora under John Fanning, it's going to be interesting to see how they get on. So like Rosslare Rangers, I think are struggling a little bit. So look, it's going to be interesting to see, but we'll see. Yeah, I think Courtown will have an advantage here at the start of the season because they're probably the only one of the teams in that division that won't be relying heavily on the GA player. So like it seems challenging them. Cora, All Blacks will be, so I think they should get off to a flyer and everyone will be chasing them. Yeah, could do. But don't forget now, they're only going to have a game now, and then you're going to have a Leinster Junior and FAI weekend. So a lot of other codes and other sports and other bits and pieces will be finished up then. So they might only have had a chance to play one game, so they mightn't get the run, but they could easily start. Well, they won't have a tougher start than North End's B team.
Yeah, we move on into the Apex Leisure Centre Division 2. The standout result in that was Coraclaw 6-1 winners against Wexford Celtic. Paul Ahern getting 2, Luke O'Rourke getting 2, Jack Tim Murphy and Daniel Orman getting the others, and for Wexford Celtic, Luke Cullen Ryan. In Coraclaw, probably a team we didn't mention last week, being in for the title challenge, but maybe they could be on that result.
Well, most definite on that result anyway. Coraclaw were strong, have been strong for a number of years. They were up in the Premier. They kind of tumbled down a little bit the last couple of years, but maybe they're finding the level now and they're on their way back. Another club with great facilities down there. Don Hearn and John Furlong and these men, they do a lot of work down there. So fair play to them for the work that's gone in, and it'll be interesting to see can they follow up on the few results. Wexford Celtic were promoted from the division below last year, so it was a bit of a baptism of fire for them going up. But I know Stephen Shannon down there, he'll be working like a dog down there, and we'll have to get him on the show one of the night. He'll have a lot to say. But Stephen and the boys will be battling away down there.
And then Enniscorthy United 2-2 draw with Bows. Enniscorthy United first game in Division 2 after being in Division 1 for a few seasons. Adam Casey and Rhys Dobbs getting their goals, and a Premier regular and Sean Palin getting the 2 for Bows. The United, it's tough in Enniscorthy. There's so many clubs in it, and we're all battling for the certain pool of players. But United have done a great job up there with the Astro and all the few bits and pieces. But look at they picked up a result. They're probably going to finish mid-table in that, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, and then Fort Celtic beat Tom Brack 1-0. Noel Beaver getting the goal, and Kilmore beat Josephs 3-1. Paul Roach, Jeff Carney and Conor Roach, Glenn McVie for Josephs. I suppose the standout game of that was Kilkenny losing out 3-2 to Rathnure. Another, we mentioned Shane Castley being a goal scoring machine. Shane Lawler's one I think could grace any team in the Premier. Scored again this weekend for Rathnure. Yes, from talking to a couple of the lads there, Graham Nolan was just telling me he's an absolute ball of speed. So they were delighted that they were tipped to be promoted, but we'll have to wait and see how they go. But small club, small parish out there, and they're definitely going punching above the weight at the minute. Yeah, and I suppose the standout fixture in that next week will be Rathnure at home to Coraclaw. So a belter. It looks like two teams that have plenty of goals in them. Division 3 results then. The TJ Murphy Division 3. Nearly forgot you there. Yeah. I suppose this is the division we said it's really impossible to call, and I think the results kind of went a bit like that way. Ballymurn beating Leonards 3-0. In that one, Camolan 4-0 winners against Moyne. Duncannon losing 3-1 to Fastnet. In the town, Dermy then Enniscorthy down Shamrock. Shamrock's won a 3-1, and then the Moyne beating Islegate 2-1. Yeah, look, through the load. That division is going to be an extremely close one. I actually went up to watch the town play Rovers B team, and it was actually, I really enjoyed it. It brought me back to the days when the proper derby, both lines were full. There was massive support up at it. Both lines were full. They were playing on the town's old pitch back on the hill. And it was a ding-dong battle. The standard wasn't great, but it was an absolute belter of a game. It really, really was. 3 sending-offs, one from Rovers, 2 from the town. I think there was 8 or 9 yellow cards, but there wasn't really a dirty stroke in it. A load of little niggly ones and lads squaring up to each other. But look, it was really enjoyable. The sun was beaming down, and I must say, fair play to Andrew. We said it to him again about him last week, but they had only 6 players registered up to 3 weeks ago. They've 26-28 players registered now, so he's doing a great job up there, and the town are one of the oldest and most traditional clubs in Wexford, and he's doing a great job, and fair play to him. Yeah, and I suppose the standout fixture in that next week is another Enniscorthy derby with Shamrocks again. Home to the Moyne, so that'll be another interesting one of that. Division 3A, I suppose the notable results was team I tipped last week to win at Rosstown, winning 5-0 against Cortown, and Feather beating Cleely 3-2. Yeah, sure, congratulations. We'll give him the league title now. Did you tip that one? I'll get off to a flyer anyway. So yeah, look at the
fair play to him. The great win down there.
In Division 4, then we had St. Cormac's coming back into the league. Unfortunately, they lost 3-1 to Gorey Rangers. It was great to see a club like Cormac's back in the league, innit?
Yeah, as Sweeney said to me a couple of weeks ago, they're quite young, so they're going to be finding their feet. But Gorey, such a selection of players up there. Yeah, it's a great. It's a tough ask to be going and beating them. But look at the Cormac's lads. It's great to see him back on the pitch out there.
Yeah, and in Division 4A, Butcher's Best, then the standout results for Celtic, 5 just after winning Division 5 last year, up into Division 4A, beating the Ajax 5-0. Looks like they could challenge for that division now this year as well. Yeah,
and another club coming up, another club doing great work, Trojan work with loads of players. They won the Division 5 last year, wasn't it? And they did a strong older squad. I got in trouble last year for saying they were all over 35, so an older squad. But look, it's not stopping them seemingly this year, and it was a great win for them on Sunday.
Yeah, and the Streamline Technologies Division 5 then, I suppose we had Gorey Celtic at 4-1 winners again, All Black second team.
Yeah, Gorey they done reasonably well last year. I just had a quick look down through their team sheet. A couple of lads that I recognised on it from playing over the years, and they could be a dark horse for that division.
Now, Nicky, we're going to watch the highlights of the Ferns versus Moyne game. Yeah, I suppose the game Ferns started off the best. We just seen John Dwyer miss a chance there. I think he'd be disappointed with that chance himself. He kind of leaned back instead of leaning over the ball when it came to him.
Yeah, look, there was a load of chances in it. It was actually a very, very open game. Standard probably wasn't the greatest for two teams who want to be competing at the very, very top, but it was an open game for the start of the season. I thought that Ricky's on the ball there now. I thought Ricky was definitely the best player on the pitch for an hour. Maybe the sun tired him out, or I don't know what, but maybe he was just looking forward to going to Electric Picnic. That was raw. No, that was raw. That was the tough tackle there on Ryan.
I think Ryan made most of that myself. That wouldn't be the type of player Conor McCartney is. Here we have the goal coming up here now.
Well, I think the video proved he is that type of player in the tackle, to be honest. But no, look at a good goal, well worked goal, and in fairness, I'd say Mikey's experience a little bit disappointed, but we all know Peter O'Rourke's very quick off the mark, and he done really, really well to read the situation.
Yeah, I think Ferns would be disappointed a lot of set pieces, corners and things. They didn't really trouble Pa in the goal from him. You see a couple of them here now. Yeah. I actually can't remember Pa making a save.
No, he didn't. No, and in saying that, Ferns hit the crossbar and hit the post as well during the game. But I suppose Ferns would be disappointed. They didn't trouble Pa. He stopped kicking the ball early in the second half. He pulled a bit of an injury there. A thigh muscle, I think. But the chap in the goal for Ferns, he was only 15.
Kenneth Murphy, he was excellent.
I thought he was excellent. And if that's anything to go by, he has a very bright future. There's the penalty.
When in live on Sunday, both thought it was a stonewall penalty. You looked at it there and you thought it was soft, but I think if you look at it there, not one Ferns player is questioning Sean Grant's decision. So
no, Sean Grant was excellent, except for here. He should have got booked for kicking the ball away.
That's maxes it.
But other than that, I thought Sean got every decision right, except for he should have probably acted on that. No, there's no point in doing it to Ricky Fox's experience. But no, look at Ivan would have been disappointed with giving away the penalty, but cracking penalty. Look, Mac's only a chap. He's only just trying to get into Ricky Fox's
I do remember, I think when you were standing beside me on Sunday, you said Ricky had missed a penalty.
I said he has missed a few, alright, but he took that one. There won't be one many better hit than that.
No, straight in the top corner of fairness.
Yeah, that's it. The Moyne were missing a few players as well. So
yeah, Ferns are missing 6, 7, maybe 5 that would actually start the team. They started early in the second half. They actually started well. They had a lot more of the ball. I think you mentioned Ricky here. I think the two in midfield with him, I think the three of them, Connor and Bruce and John Perry, I think the three of them dominated the game in the middle of the field really with Ducker and Matty Dunn and Kieran Murphy. I think they won that battle.
Yeah, no, they definitely did. But then you have to look at Ferns were missing one of the Rex and Paddy Casey, who definitely goes into midfield, so it does give him a different dynamic. Shamey,
That's another great
Casey,
save from
yeah,
young
Shamey
goalkeeper
Casey up front as well as another one that was missing for Ferns. All missing through
Shane
GA.
Breen as well. I think Shane will be a big
Shane
loss.
Breen is another one. So there's a midfield trio that Ferns would have had straight away, plus Connor, Jordan. And obviously at the start of the season, there's both teams were missing a few. Both the Moyne were missing 4 or 5 as well, missing Rory O'Connor through GA commitments. I don't think he was too happy with it, but look at this lovely bit of play by John Pear actually. And
It's probably the best play in the game. It was great, leading to a chance here.
Yeah, it opens up the play and Conor Bruce gets his head up. So yeah, look, overall the Moyne will be delighted, I think, to have picked up the 3 points. Ferns is a tough place to go, especially after they done so well last year.
There's another great save there by Kenneth. You wonder actually, I know Anton Larkin signed out there, but I think he'll find it hard to get in the goal if the Martin sticks with it. I know he's young at 15, but he showed Sunday he's well able for it.
Yeah, and he was brave there. He came diving at James's feet as well. James Pear was a good finish. I thought James changed the game a little bit when the Moyne came on. I thought Liam and Connor were quite similar in style. And this is Stewie hitting the post. Oh no, Ivan was it that time hitting it. So
Ferns had a good chance at 2-1 actually as well to make a level. I think the boys went up then and James scored.
Yeah. So, but like, look, overall, as Sean said after the game, he's delighted to have come away with 3 points, and like Martin is obviously disappointed, but they had chances to get into it. They definitely had enough chances to have gotten something out of the game. And as I said earlier on, it was a wide open game, and it could have went either way. Even though I thought Moyne were the better team.
Yeah, I think the control of the game, the style they wanted to play, and the pace they wanted to play it. I think they'll be happy enough. I don't think they'll be too worried about the performance. I think they just wanted to get off to a winning start. They want to be in the title chase straight away. They don't want to be chasing anyone from the start. They want to be up there with them. So I think just all they were worried about is the 3 points. They have a lot to come back. Ferns have a lot to come back. So it'll be an interesting year ahead for the two. I still think Ferns will have a big say in it. And I think they showed Sunday missing 7 players that they do have a squad now as well. So they will be thereabouts with the top teams in it, I think.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you now on Ferns. They'll only get stronger. Obviously they're disappointed with the start today, or Sunday, but both squads should definitely ticken up over the next couple of weeks.
I suppose, look, it was a great start to the season. We said earlier the weather was great. The new app, it's great feedback from everyone. I think people that maybe not fully invested in the league were telling me it was interesting for them to be able to go on and check the lineups, check the results as they come in. So I think it's going to be a great thing for the league, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. It's fantastic. It's a great addition. Like for you to be able to go on, flick on, and get results and organize stuff. Looking at stuff, it's absolutely brilliant. Sure, we were out at the Ferns game. We were kept up to date with everything that was going on. At one time, we looked down, seen the Moyne dressing room, all of them huddled around, looking at somebody's phone to see how the games are going in the other games. But look, it's a great addition to the league. A fair play to Pádraig and Alan Patchell over the last couple of weeks for the work that they've done in getting it up and going. It's the way forward. And like everything is just there on a fingertip, and it's instant. Once the clubs buy into it, it'll continue. If the clubs start falling away and not adding stuff to it, that's where you'll end up having the trouble. So please God, yeah, they'll all buy into it.
Yeah, speaking of a lot of managers, I think it went all right on from their point of view as well, uploading the team rather than the match card and all. So I think that was a kind of concern maybe a few people had about it. Speaking to Sean Grant after the game, he was happy enough with what the referees have to do. It's straightforward enough for them, really.
There will be teething problems, but like, I haven't used to pick a team, but like from being shown how it works and how it like for me it has to be easier. If you can pick your team on a Friday night and have it typed out and have it done instead of waiting for Sunday where you have 2 or 3 pieces of paper and then you're trying to put it down onto a match card and match up numbers that you're giving out to lads, and once it's there on the touch of your screen or your phone, like, it has to be a hell of a lot easier. And as I said, like, you don't have to confirm your team until 20 minutes to 40 minutes before a game. So look, it has to be the way forward. If you're anyway organised, it's the way to do it. And yeah, for me, I think it's great.
Yeah, I think all the clubs deserve a lot of credit. They all bought into it. I think everyone was doing a live feed of the games, so no one didn't do it. So I think that's great. And I suppose there's a bit of extra work on the clubs that way. But look, we're here to try to promote the league, but all the clubs have to do it as well. I think you have to shout out to Rat Newer. I think their Facebook page is excellent, and a lot of clubs could learn from it. It might take a little bit of work, but it's very good. Of all the information up, and they're really driving it on. So I think if every club can do their bit, we get Wexford football where it should be.
Yeah, well, look, Wexford football isn't too far off where it should be. This is just to try and get a bit more promotion for the lads who are giving up their time, giving up their effort, and getting in and doing it week in, week out. So fair play.
Right, thanks, Nicky. Looking forward to the weekend and looking forward to next week.
Cheers.